Straight people of Reddit, what's the gayest thing you've done?
I was in basic training. The showers in basic were just the square room with shower heads all around the outside, and a small, for feet, opening on the end to go in and out. Well, in basic training, they tend to hurry you up a little bit whenever you do anything. In a rush to get out, I side shuffled face to face with this other guy that was coming in through that opening. Somehow, our dicks contacted damn near at the base, and slid alongside each other like a cool handshake or something. We looked into each other's eyes, and he said, "We will never speak of this." And I said, "Yep."
Best friend is gay. He's a couple years older than me, so he has been going to bars for a while before I turned 21. He had a gay bar that he loved and would always talk about the new friends he made there, and since he was from the deep south, and kinda newly out, he just felt like he finally had people that got him. Anyway, the day I turned 21, instead of going to some club or something, I went to his gay bar, watched a drag show, and my buddy bought me some shit where a super ripped bartender put his legs around me and gave me a shot poured from a shot glass with his mouth about 2 inches from mine. It was honestly fun as shit, and I'm a very secure dude, so it was all in fun. I'll even admit, it was kinda fun to be hit on like I was some sort of super stud.
When I was in the military, my good friend moved into my apartment with my ex-wife and me for about 6 months. We got drunk one night and pissed into the same toilet at the same time, with the door open. We got some good laughs out of my ex. I'd like to think that's why we did it, but mostly, I think it was a measuring contest.
Accidentally kissed my friend at a Halloween party. We were all up in each other's face for a mock aggressive stare down. So I made the kissy face to be funny. We were closer together than I thought. He said I was a good kisser.
Tried to crank it to gay porn just to check. Didn't work, but I didn't know about incognito mode or clearing history, so that was a fun talk with my parents. Young me was an idiot.
Held my brother's dick for him so he could piss. He had an arm in a sling, and had managed to throw his other shoulder out drunk as fuck in Vegas.
This was in the early days of my college career when I'd go see my friends at another college. After partying during the day/night, 4 of us would pile into a single double bed and spoon. A few times one of us would call out "spoon change" to signal it was time for us all to turn over and face the opposite direction. Edit, username checks out, I get it, lol.
When I was a teenager, I was pretty flexible and tried sucking my own dick. I was able to touch it with my tongue the first time I tried. I kept trying. Ultimately, I was able to get about an inch in my mouth, which was enough to give myself a good enough BJ to come. So, I guess you could say I've sucked enough dick to know I don't really like sucking dick.
Was 12 years old or so at my friend Ty's house. He was maybe 10, offered me $20 to make AX with our whiners. Needless to say, later that day, I bought myself 2 12-packs of soda and some bags of chips.
My best friend was sad his boyfriend of a number of years cheated on him, and so my friend dumped him. He was most upset. He had booked a trip for a bear/cub retreat in northern CA. It had been a year or so since we had actually seen each other, so I suggested he go, and I would come up and we could spend some time together and go wine tasting. And that's what happened. But the night I showed up was the bear/cub ball. So I was his date. We grew up together, it was strictly platonic, he's more my brother, but I learned that night I'm considered a bear. We came in second place in the ball. So much back hair. R.I.P. pool drain. We laugh about it still, and I love him very much. He met another man that weekend, and they celebrated their 5th anniversary last Pi Day.
I had a sleepover at my friend's house when I was 13, and we laid out some blankets and fell asleep in his living room. I woke up first to him spooning me, and I didn't move at all because I wanted to avoid any awkward moment in our friendship by having us both know of that cuddle moment, so I laid there as still as I could for maybe 30 minutes until he woke up and quickly but carefully got off of me. I then got up 10 minutes later, and that moment now doesn't exist in our friendship.
Had to hold my buddy's hand while the doctor played hand puppet with his prostate.
slapped my friend's ass and then kicked it after he stole my strepsils, because his voice sounded horrible during a residential school trip. In the night, he slapped my ass again, so I slapped it back. It ended up being a fight until like 12 in the night. All other 6 kids who was watching joined in the fight. That meant everyone was slapping each other's ass. This was in the boys' room.
Me and my best bud, at the time, accidentally interlocked our cheeks in bed together.
Well, I had a comfortably, but not publicly out gay kid convince me that the best way to practice having sex with a girl, we were 13 at the time, was to practice humping each other. I had zero idea that was an issue, and we dry humped for an hour or so.
On the bells at New Year's this year, I kissed my other straight dude friend. Everyone else there was a couple, and we decided to show them up by being more passionate. We were very drunk. I didn't remember it until 2 weeks after. Good times. Edit, by passionate I mean that we were really going for it. No tongues, but it was sloppy. Wasn't really passionate LMAO.
Had a threesome and ended up liking the girl better.
Only Swedish people know what happened in the pillow room.
You know when porn just cuts to the dude's balls.
Made out with a dude. He's now my best man. Edit, really? Why is this my top comment?
Damn, I was expecting to find a bunch of weird shit, but a lot of this are surprisingly wholesome.
I watched an episode of Glee once. I also like to dildo my ass, but I led with the strong argument. Edit, slow clap figures. My most upvoted comment is about me sticking a dildo up my ass.
Me and my friends one night got really drunk and started streaking around where we live, very small area. Got so mad lad, we started hand shaking each other's dicks. How do you do, we would say. Love the lads with all my heart.
Back in high school, I would hang out with a friend I'd known since elementary school. And he came out as gay in sophomore year. One day we were hanging out at my house, parents were out of town that day, and we got on the topic of sexuality. I mentioned that, since I didn't have much experience at that point, wasn't 100% sure if I was straight, gay, bi or whatever. Then he says, well, I happen to know a pretty good way to figure out if you're gay or not. Being the horny high schooler that I was, I say fuck it, sure, and we both drop our pants to jerk each other off. He grabs my dick and gets it up, so far so good, it feels alright though not amazing or anything. Then I grab his dick, and suddenly I'm hit with this overwhelming feeling of wow. I'm very straight. We stopped soon after, since I wasn't comfortable jerking him off after that. I felt bad since I felt like I had led him on or something, but he seemed to think the whole situation was hilarious.
French kissed a guy on a drunk dare. Biggest surprise for me was that it just felt like kissing, laughing face. I know it sounds stupid, but I thought it will somehow feel different with a man, but it didn't really. This experience actually taught me a lot about sexuality.
Probably jacking off with a friend to see who could come first when we were in like middle school. Little did we know that it was definitely not heterosexual, and coming first would later be looked at as a bad thing. LOL. Edit. I normally hate the people who edit comments and thank people for awards, but holy shit. I woke up to 13k upvotes and 5 awards for this. What the actual hell? Thank you, ahaha. It seems like a lot of commenters did this as well, so there's that. To answer the most popular question I saw though, I won. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing though.
Not me, but this happened at the gym yesterday and I am still a bit shocked. So I walk into the locker room to change my shoes and put away my stuff. These 2 guys are sitting talking about their workout. They then fist bump, stand up, face to face, full eye contact, and both pull down their pant and underwear. Now men locker rooms have plenty of naked men, but I have never in my life seen 2 men make eye contact and go cock to change.
Compared dick size.
My 24M fiance, 24F, is really into guys kissing each other. She's bisexual and I consider myself straight. However, one night I was drunk enough to kiss a nice gay guy that we were hanging out with, after she playfully said that it would make her really hot. Indeed, when we got home, she went really wild on me, and we ended up having probably the best sex of my life. No regrets.
My best friend is gay. He got kicked out of his family when they found out, took his car, money, and threw him out. So, I had an empty room and let him stay with me and get him a job. But, there would be times he would just come to my room while bawling. There were nights when we spooned until he passed out. Nothing ever happened more than that. He just needed to be held and to know he's loved.